What's good, y'all? It's your boy Kid, man. These trucking beats, they are hard. So I want to thank you guys for your prayers, man. We are live down here from Lamar, Colorado. Lamar, Colorado. Look that up. It's like just north of Texas, not too far from Amarillo or something like that. But it's a nice country town, man. So I'm just sitting here getting my 34-hour break in, and the reason why I'm doing this video, and this is the start of many videos about this trucking life, my experience, man. I had a couple calls last week. My boy Stu, my boy Lil Ro, they were, they called me just out of the blue, man. They was thinking about getting their CDLs. They say CDLs like it's many different things, but it's a CDL, commercial driver's license. And they said they was going to ask me, they wanted me to give them some pointers of how to go about it. And then just last night, I'm on the way down to, Fort Worth, Texas, which is close to Dallas. My boy that lives in Dallas, Angelo, he gives me a call just out of the blue. Last time I talked to him was when I was in Dallas about a few months ago. And he was like, he's a comedian. He told me, man, a 25-year-old kid came up to me and was asking about being a truck driver. And he said the first person that came to his mind was me. So I was out of the blue. So I think that was a little calling to go ahead and do this and share my experience and share what I have, pay it forward to those who are thinking about, especially you young cats, man. You young cats are just starting out, and give you some pointers, what I know. As you see, I'm in my cab. I just joined this company. I've been with one company for 10 years, and they shut down. Some of y'all probably know about it, but I've been with one company for 10 years now. I joined this company, Double J Transportation. This is my third week. Yeah, it's like my third week rolling, and pretty good people, man. But for you young cats, I wouldn't have been able to get this job like less than 24 hours after I was notified that my last company was shutting down. Less than 24 hours, I went on and signed with this one, but I had a whole line of, you should see, I'm pretty sure, and I'll show you everybody that's been contacting me. Why? Keep your nose clean. You pay attention. Abide by the rules. See, so I'm gonna go into this video. This is the beginning. I'll call it the intro to this trucking game. And first off, man, if you're thinking that you're just gonna make a whole lot of money, now granted you can make a lot of money. You'll do well. But the thing is, even to get it, it's not just jumping in a truck and rolling. No, you got to learn the laws, the federal laws. They're tough, man. They're tough on these truck drivers, man. We're not just out here just jumping the truck, roll. No, it's a lot of things we got to do before we even start. Even when it comes down to school, man. First off, young cats, if you're there's some habits that you have to break. If you have your license, you drive, it's much different than driving. And when I started, I was like 24. I think it was like 2008. Not 24. Like I was in my 30s, man. What I'm talking about. So I drove a stick shift. I had a little silver Eclipse. I call it the Silver Bullet, and I went to trucking school, and it was tough trying to unlearn my habits of driving a stick shift, a regular stick shift. And we had to learn the stick shift, the 10 speed in the truck. And so I kind of struggled with that. The school work wasn't bad. If you're trying to get your CDLA and you really want to do it, prepare yourself for school. Prepare yourself for class. Prepare yourself to learn. Be a sponge, yo. Be a sponge, because it's mad important that you get all this information in, man. You don't want to mess yourself up or cause any harm to anybody else's family, and that's the thing, man. A lot of these truck drivers out here, some of them, you know, skip school. Some they got these programs. They got these cats out here, you know, just giving people licenses just off the money, man. You know, and then they learn as they go. Yeah, the stuff in school you'll learn it. You know, as far as the driving stuff, how to shift gears, whatever, you'll learn it. But once you get out here, you'll have your own way of doing things. And I'm kind of ahead of myself with this, so let me backtrack. If you want to do this trucking thing, and I'm talking about personal experience, it's the pros and cons, even when beginning it, even when starting it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's great. I've seen a lot of amazing things. I think last week was the first time I drove through Montana, which completes my 48 state travels doing this job. Amazing thing. I have a great time. You have to put it in your mind that, yo, this is different. You have to know how to take care of yourself. You have to know how to keep your mentals intact. As you see, I have a little studio here. I'm a producer, you know. I do music. That's what keeps me intact, you know. And I do some other things. Sometimes I don't have the time or the you know, or the energy to do it after I'm driving. But before you go to school, like I said, you got to keep your mentals intact. If you're about to go to trucking school, you're gonna have to go to trucking school to get an A. Now, if you want to start off getting a B, this is how I did it. A class B license. I love to drive. For one thing, I love to drive. That was my occupation. I'm a career driver. Boom. And for a second job, I picked up a little gig with Z-Best Limousines and started driving limousines. And shucks, they had, you know, vehicles that, you know, carry more than 15 passengers, and with that you have to have a CDL, Class B license, like the bus drivers. So they allow me to use their vehicle to take, you know, that test. That test was fine. I don't know now if you have to go to school for that. You have to know about air brakes, because that's on the test, on a you know, the call it the written test, but it's a little computer test you got. You have to study for that, know about air brakes and all that stuff, and you can get your Class B license, which is cool. With that, you can start, you know, get an MTA job, you know, bus driver job, MARTA if you're in you know, Atlanta or whatever. You can get one of those jobs, and they pay pretty well. But if you want to do this, you have to go to school. You have to go to school, because it's a different ball game. And I say in my 10th year, it's still stuff that I needed to learn. Like for 10 years, I was driving with a company, and you know, they're pretty big, pretty hard on logbooks. And once you get into it, you have your routine, how to do your logbook. And I'm just learning about how to split my schedules, split sleeper berths and everything to stay legal to drive, you know. And after 10 years, man, shucks, I'm just figuring that stuff out, and it's wild. It's wild. See, when back then, you know, I had my own schedule. Like I said, I had a routine. I knew. I just drove, do my 10-hour break, drove again, boom, get to where I'm at, do my 10-hour break, do it back. So I didn't have to understand the split schedule. What I'm doing right now, the way they have us running, man, they really have us running, because I'm also hauling a reefer trailer, and so that's what that is. I'm still jumping ahead of myself. Let me come back again. Young cats, again, prepare yourself for school. Prepare yourself for school. Your CDL is a privilege, and I thank God for it. It did change my life, but at the same time, here's the con. Here's the negative about it. Now, if you married, y'all, something I did, and I don't want you to do what I did. You know, it was a time, you know, 2008, around that time, the mortgage crisis, recession, everything was going down. My job had just you know, well, no, yeah, I wasn't making enough to make it. So I said I need to go to school. But I had a family. I had a family to take care of. My youngest, he was only like 3 or 4 years old. So, but I had to do something. And I went there. If you're like that and like me, prepare to lose. It's a sacrifice, man. It's a sacrifice. If I had, I mean, I could say this now because of the relationship that I have with my kids and even their mom. You know what I'm saying? If I could turn back the time, I would. You know, so I can gain that time back with my kids. And but the truck just shut off. It has an automatic start with this truck, so it's all good. But I lost a lot. I say a lot. I practically lost everything to do this, man. When it came down to this, because you have I'm thinking that I was going to instantly start making money, instantly. But that first year is the hardest part of this job, and it's tough because you be like, yo, what in the world? For one thing, you're still trying to learn. You're trying to figure out how to handle this truck. You're trying to figure out the lifestyle. You're trying to your significant other is trying to figure out what you're doing out there. Why is it taking you so long to get home? Promises not being able to be kept. You know, you're saying you're going to be here this day, and because of time, you can't. Yeah, so keep that in mind, man. It's different, man. You're not able to just do what you want to do, man. There are certain laws. There are a lot of laws that you have to follow, and you will have to know, because if you don't and you get caught up by the DOT, it'll mess your career up, it'll mess your life up, man. And I don't want y'all to go through that. But so that's for those who have families and kids. If you're 24, 25, and you just ready to jump out there and nothing, hey, I would say you go. You go quick, but be a sponge, man. Don't think you know everything, because you know around our age we think we know everything. We got it. You think you heard it, you hear it once, boom, I got it. No, this practice makes perfect, yo. And when you go to school, they're not just gonna throw you up in the truck and say, you know, do what you gotta do. Even before getting out there, you know, when you go to your school, if you knew you had a party a couple weeks before going to school to get your CDL, and you know you've been smoking some stuff you shouldn't have been smoking, or putting some stuff in your body you shouldn't have been putting in, you know, illegal drugs, man. Come on. Don't go to school, because they will pee test you. And if you know, well, in my run around this thing, for some reason my number keeps coming up for a random drug test. I don't have no issues, but my number keeps coming up. And I say that because I have a common name, and sometimes my common name gets out there, and I'm like, okay, I'll pee in your cup. Give me your cup. Just like I just went to orientation. Like before orientation, I had to get my medical exam card. Did that. Went to orientation. Our last day of orientation, one of the teachers come in there and say, you know, pull me and another guy out and say, oh, your name's come up for a random drug test. It's 11 o'clock. And well, no, it was like 1:45, and we had to get to this medical facility by 3:30. They really want to hire us, but federally, this wasn't even a job. This was a federal database that pulled up our name for a drug test. That's the first thing they're gonna do when you get to school, man. They want to make sure you clean. So that's what I want you guys to be prepared for. Prepare for school. Stay clean. Another thing, if you know how much the school costs, you know, $3,000 sometimes. If you get with a big company that you know, they will, what they say, pay for your tuition as long as you finish school and then finish the training, the over-the-road training. You got to get the over-the-road training with a trainer. I mean, living with somebody you don't know, smelling his funk. I was cool though when I went and trust me, I'm a little older. I think I was like 33. I would say about 33, something like that, when I went. And my trainer, he was a young cat. He taught me how to park into into 2 handicap spaces at an IHOP in Missouri. He taught me, don't even worry about your surroundings. Don't even worry about that state trooper sitting there in the daggone parking lot looking at us, waiting for us to come out, waiting for us to come out after we ate our breakfast and jump in the truck while we're still parked into these handicap spots. So this guy got some fat tickets. And I mean, no, not $100, not $200. Now you got a fat ticket for like $375. See, keep your license clean while you got it. Don't get into no traffic issues, man. Keep yourself clean, and that'll work. So, so this is a little long. So I just wanted to put y'all down with that, man. Look up some of the big trucking companies, and there's some that are send you through school. And sometimes school I went through, they was advertising 2 weeks to get it. But it's about 6 months of information being crammed down your head, in a few, So, and there are schools that take that long. So if you want to do it quicker, man, just prepare yourself to be ready. And it's not free. It's not free at all. Just go ahead and do it. So, but that's what's up, man. That's what I got right here. I'm not gonna make this long. My next one, I'm gonna give y'all a little tour. Matter of fact, I'll give y'all a quick tour of the vehicle. That's the front. That's my little Keurig coffee. I like coffee. Like I said, I sit right here, and I mean, it has its rewards. Like I said, this job has its rewards. You get paid well, as long as you know what you're doing, running your schedules. And sometimes things happen, where you can't get to your appointment. Like why I'm sitting here now is because some places they hold you, but I'm getting paid for being held, but it messes up your next job. So that's it. But that's it, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Tune in. I guess that this will be on YouTube. I'm gonna try to upload this and send this out to you. I might send it on Facebook. I don't know. I think it's too long. We at 1750. All right. It's your boy Kev. These trucking beats are hard. Kevy J Beats. Look out for the beat. Join me on TikTok. Kevy J Beats. Kevy KEVY JBEATZ. Cause why? These beats are hard. I'll talk to y'all, man. God bless.